Well, college football fans, Clemson Tiger fans, welcome back to another live Clemson postgame reaction here on the Voice of College Football Clemson channel. Not a real good day for Clemson Tiger fans, but with that said, it is what it is. We'll get into all the things that Clemson did right or wrong in the game, all the things that transpired, the things that we would have liked to see happen. All of it, I'm sure we will get into it in length today. I'm sure the comment section will be teeming with angry responses and thoughts that they have, and we will get to your thoughts as well. I see a lot of talk of DJ already. Again, we'll get into that. But if you haven't done so already and you're in the live chat right now, please go ahead and hit that like button for it. It helps us out on the live videos. And if you are not subscribed, we are on the road to 4,000 subscribers. We are really close. I think we were like 40 away. So if you could help us out with that, it'd be greatly appreciated as well. But without further ado, I'm going to bring on my panel. I got Jordan Bowman and I got DeAndre. I know a lot of you guys in the chat were probably here for our preview show last night, where we talked and broke down this game, talked a lot about the things that happened and both didn't happen in this game, didn't we? Jordan, you look thrilled there, as am I. I'm not quite sure where to start with this one, guys, other than, I mean, this is just one that I didn't want to lose, to be completely honest, for a lot of different reasons. Mainly, it's the rival, right? You always want to win your game against your rival. It's the most important game of the season, at least for that week, right? Unless you got postseason aspirations and stuff like that. Some of those games get to be a little bit more meaningful and important. But this game is the most important game of the season, at least for this week, and it's tough to lose this one. Um, it's tough to lose to South Carolina. It's tough to lose in the way that we lost, and it's tough for our rivals to be the one to end our 6-year 40-game home winning streak. That's a tough pill to swallow. I think it's easier to swallow a loss, to Carolina without all the added things that they just ended for us as well. So I'll give you guys the floor for a couple minutes. You guys can get your initial thoughts out.
Well, I feel, the ghosts have bit us, State, the stuff that we saw with poor catching, poor special key as far as the punter, not being able to put, and bad play calling, because I still don't understand you are 16-7, and you run that play on special teams to, I know a lot of people going to blame DJ, but also blame the poor calling, and also the receivers dropping the ball. EJ Williams, I know he's a young man and he's improving, but you just dropped the ball. On what, 2nd and 10, you had an easy catch. So, yeah, I mean, congratulations to South Carolina. I ain't going to hate like that. You did a great job. You won the game. But,
I'm
at
not
the same
hating.
time.
They won.
No,
They
I'm
won
talking
fair
about
and
me,
square.
not hating on them. I'm just saying that, congratulations. You won, and Clemson has not cleaned up what ails us on the secondary, on far as the receivers and the special team problems. Go ahead, Jordan. You got it.
Wow. Wow is basically all. That's the only word I have in my vocabulary right now. I am not wearing my Clemson hat because this team does not deserve for me to wear that hat. Wow. Just everything that we had seen, prior to this game, everything that, every single issue that had cropped up here and there, or just the little things that we saw that, like, man, this team is still not doing well. They're still not improving. It all showed up in this game, and it feels this is the second straight time, not second straight time, but the second time this season that we've said that. Going back, Notre Dame game was very similar, with just the ineptitude and just the constant mistakes, and you haven't fixed anything.
We have not.
There's so many things that we could get into about this game, about what this team has to do going forward, what this coaching staff is. It all needs a hard scrubbing, cleaning, a makeover, whatever you want to call it, because this isn't working.
Clemson's got to go back to the drawing board, man. This isn't working. We're not getting better. We're wasting good defenses. I know, we'll get into the defense. I know our defense hasn't played up to their potential really at all this season outside of a couple spots. But, without our defense, we're also probably losing a lot more games this year. As far as the offense goes, man, the play calling is absolutely terrible. I don't know. I mean, at times I watch our play calling and it's somewhat creative, and I like some of the wrinkles and stuff that they throw in. But again, where were the tight ends today? We talked about it last night, Jordan.
Yep.
Where were the tight ends today? At one time in the game, Will Shipley had 12 carries for 112 yards. He ended the game with only 15 carries. It's unacceptable. 15 carries for 132 yards. If I have 15 carries for 132 yards, why am I only carrying the ball 15 times? Because, I mean, it doesn't make sense. There's no way you look at that and make that make sense as an offensive coordinator, as an offensive staff. I mean, what is going on? What are we doing? And, you know, we talked about it a little bit backstage, and we'll get into all of it. But we're in control of the game. We're up 9 points. South Carolina kicks the ball off to us, and we run some random, make-believe, weird punt return or kick return where we huddle up on the field after we catch the ball, hand it to Maffa, and then he goes on to fumble the ball. What is that? Why do we need to do that? Why is DJ punting the ball on 4th down? Why are we doing these weird things on special teams that cost us? I don't understand what we're doing. Ooh. Just catch the ball, return it if you can, and go down. Like, they're trying to do too much all the time, and it's constantly with the shooting themselves in the foot and the turnovers. I talked about the turnovers last night. I said if we don't clean up these turnovers, eventually they're going to come back and catch up with us. And what happened today? Turnovers in crucial times in the game. Crucial times in the game. DJ throws that big one. Our defense makes another stand. We get one last shot. And what do? They punt the ball to us. We fumble. And that's the story of it, man. Tons of
we would
drops
have had
by
the ball
receivers.
on the 45-yard line, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would have.
Yeah.
We would have had it around midfield, and I don't know if anyone knows this, but we got a kicker called BT Potter, and we wouldn't have had to gain too many yards in order for him to be able to hit a field goal. I trust in that guy a lot more than I trust in our offense. I can tell you that.
Right.
DJ went 8 of 29 today. Absolutely terrible. Didn't even throw for 100 yards. Completely terrible. Threw an interception at the complete wrong time.
He played better in this game last year.
Yeah.
That's insane.
What was his completion percentage?
28%.
What is that, like 28%?
Yeah, he was 9 of 19 last year, so he was that wasn't even above 50%, but he had 99 yards.
28% completion percentage.
Yeah. Now, I give it to him this, though. Antonio Williams dropped a lot of balls. EJ Williams dropped a lot of balls. The guy that dropped a lot of balls.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, there were drops. The receiving core didn't do him any favors. I'm not saying all those incompletions were on DJ, but he also did not throw the ball well.
No.
He did not throw the ball well. So let's not pretend like that happened either. The receivers played bad. DJ played bad. The offensive staff, again, tries to always outsmart themselves and outdo themselves and forget that we can just line up and run the ball. Line up and run the ball until they make you stop. Just do it. Just line up and run the ball until they make you stop. I don't understand why it's so hard. If they start loading the box, then take your shots as they come. But this, we're going to run the ball on 1st down every single time, and then we're going to follow that by 2 straight passes. That's not going to work. They know exactly what's going to happen. If I know sitting on my couch, watching a game on the TV, never coached at the level that these dudes have a day in my life, right? If I can figure out what you're going to do, don't you think, all these defensive staffs can figure out what you're going to do? You're going to run the ball on 1st. You're going to do some stupid play on 2nd. And then you're going to be on 3rd and long, trusting DJ to complete a pass, and it's probably not going to happen. That's not a sustainable offense. I don't know what else to say. It's not sustainable.
No.
It's terrible. We could have easily won this game. We didn't win this game because of a poor offensive game plan and poor execution by some key offensive players, namely the receiving core and DJ. That's who I put this loss on. I put this loss on the coaching staff, and then DJ, and then the receivers for all the drops as well. That's who I put the loss on.
There you go, man.
And I can't wait to hear the logic behind this special teams play that they pulled out of nowhere. I can't wait for Dabo's logic on that one. That one's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear that post game presser. Just I don't think I wasn't this mad with Dabo after the Notre Dame game.
Neither was I.
But this is what happens, and this is what happens when you hire your friends and people, and you do this whole hire within crap. You're just consistently over and over again, and you just think that every guy you have on your coaching staff is infallible and is every bit as good as you need them to be to keep at the level that you want them to.
Right.
And it's frustrating because Dabo has led Clemson to great heights, but he's also going to be the reason why they fall from grace. And I mean, you're seeing the cracks and the chinks in the armor. I mean, we gave this staff, Dabo, this program a pass for the struggles they had last season, and just the inconsistency. And Dabo stuck to his guns. When things were clear that they needed to be changed, he stuck to his guns and stuck with guys that were already in the program to run the team. And he stuck with his quarterback, which for a good bit of the season seemed like the right decision and seemed like it was going to pay off. But it's very clear that this is never going to work. The way this, especially on offense, the way it's currently constructed, it's not going to work. DJ is not the right quarterback for this system. Brandon Streeter, he has not. He's too inconsistent. He makes too many, just head-scratching play calls, and just the personnel usage has just been mind-boggling this year. I mean, what else can I say?
I don't know. I think you're 100% correct. I think as presently constructed, especially this offensive staff, they're never going to get it done. Not at the level that Clemson fans are wanting it to get done, and not at the level that we've become accustomed to over the past decade or so with Clemson football. So
that's why when you hear about Florida and these other schools hiring analysts, I always wonder why don't we ever bring in people from the outside too and to help out with our development outside the guy from Vanderbilt. And that's part of the problem. It's like you were so proud, like we are family. Sometimes you got to bring a family in and say, hey man, you know what? We're gonna change it up a little bit. And I know I picked on Tony Elliott earlier, but I'm just like, yo man, like, what are we doing to better our offense? We changed for Chad Morsey. We could have asked Chad Morsey for help. I mean, like, how it's a different run concepts. Bring Jeff Scott back. The receivers, what's his name? Tyler Griffin. He's one of my major issues. He's like I got to go, fella.
All right, we'll catch you later. We'll keep talking about it. It's the offensive coaching staff for me. And I really hope Dabo takes a long look in the mirror this offseason, which I'm not exactly sure he will, because that's not exactly his style. But I don't. A guy that has built a program as good and as effectively as he has, he's got to know that it's trending in the wrong direction right now. I know he has to see that. I mean, he could sit there and lie to himself and say it's not, but it is. This is 2 years now. And granted, most people, they'll listen to this video back and they'll be like, listen to these spoiled Clemson fans. They go 10-2 in the regular season. They're going to their conference championship, and look at them, they're still crying. And that's fine. You could feel that way. But in order to stay at the top of college football and competing for national championships every year, what is currently happening at Clemson is not good enough. We don't want to be a 7-5 team, hoping to make it to a good bowl game or every 2 or 3 or 4 years make it to our conference championship. That's not what we want. So if you want that, that's fine. You could be happy with a 10-2 regular season, and your offense making next to no improvement the entire season. You could be happy with that, but I will not. It's unacceptable. Clemson has far too much talent on the roster. They're not developing the talent at the rate that they used to, and that has to be coaches. That's the only answer. We're recruiting at the same level or higher than we always have. So what's the difference? The difference is coaches. That's the only answer. What else is the answer? We just suddenly started recruiting all the wrong guys? I don't think so. Probably not the case. And I hope we see some changes. I hope we see a different direction next season. I hope we see a different offense. I hope DJ moves on to either the NFL or another school. I do not want to see him back in a Clemson uniform. No offense to DJ. I hope everything turns out perfectly for him, but his time in Clemson has come to an end. He's got to go. It's not working.
No,
it's not working. So whether he declares for the NFL draft and does that whole thing, or he goes to another school, I think both him and Clemson could use a fresh start, especially at that position. And I don't see Dabo Swinney, making a change at offensive coordinator necessarily, but I hope I would like to see him entertain some options. Clemson could have had their pick of assistant coaches when Dabo hired the offensive and defensive coordinators, and we didn't interview a single person. I just don't think that's necessarily the smartest thing. Even if you did end up hiring who you hired, you didn't think you should have to listen to anyone interview for the job. You didn't think you should have to make those guys interview for the job and lay out their plan for Clemson's offense and Clemson's defense and so on and so forth. I don't know. I don't think that's a good plan. I don't know what else to say, Jordan.
You covered it perfectly. I didn't really disagree with anything. I don't know what I don't know what the plan is for the ACC championship and beyond, but past this,
I'd honestly like to see Cade start the ACC championship.
I'm kind of there too. It can't be much because really it just if he's terrible, it is what it is. But give him a week, or give him a week knowing he's going to be the starter. Give him a week of the first team reps, and just see what he does with it. Because let's
just see. Yeah, I agree, man.
I can't do this anymore. And I've been an avid, defender of DJ, especially earlier in the year when it looked like he had fixed a lot of his issues. Yeah. But it's clear that he's still just bad. DJ is still within him, and it's going to show up. It just showed up a little bit less this year than it did last year. But when you need him to make plays, and when there's a step up in competition,
yeah,
he's not the guy to get it done.
He's not that guy. DJ had 2 opportunities today. He had 2 opportunities to mount a game-winning drive today, and he couldn't get it done.
Yep.
And that's just the fact of the matter. You can blame it on receivers. You can blame it on play calling, which I do. I blame it on both of those 2 guys. But at the end of the day, if that dude does not command the confidence of that offense, they'll do they're just the other guys around you just don't believe, And DJ's not that guy. He's just not. And it's okay. He's a decent quarterback. Not everybody is that guy, and he's not. So, it makes me think of a guy like Deshaun Watson in the second national championship we went to against Alabama. Last second game winning drive, right? I felt like everybody on their offense thought we were going to win that game, right? So they played like that. because they believed that Deshaun Watson would lead them down the field and win the game, and he did. So I think that level of confidence means something to a team. And as much as people, I'm sure, love DJ, and I'm sure he's a great guy, and I'm sure he works hard, and I'm sure he wants to be and play better than he has, I think he's had enough time to prove that that's just not going to happen, at least not at Clemson. Maybe somewhere else, but at least not at Clemson.
Yeah.
So, do I think Cade will play in the ACC championship game? No.
Probably not.
Nope. I don't think he'll see the field. Honestly. I think DJ will play the whole game. But, yeah, I guess
if Clemson can't score on that defense, yeah, it's.
Yeah, well, we'll see. All the crap I've talked about the North Carolina defense this year too, right?
This is the least excited I've been to be in the ACC championship, I think, ever.
I think this is ever. It's just like,
I mean, you go back.
It is exciting to be back in the ACC championship game, and it'll be nice. But like, yeah, the way this season has ended for North Carolina and now Clemson, like it's just like two teams just like limping into the ACC championship game.
Yeah.
Not that we're like completely limping in. We lost a game. I get it, but the way that we lost it, and just the decision making is just head scratching to me. It was, that was absolutely pathetic. Yeah, I mean, this game was one of the worst games I've watched for Clemson in a long time.
Yeah,
and that includes that Notre Dame game.
Yep, I would watch the Notre Dame game like 10 times over than watch this monstrosity again. And it's funny because Notre Dame beat Clemson by 21 points, but it felt like, there was so much more, you could excuse in that Notre Dame game.
It just felt
that was just a game where we got
beat.
Yeah, it was a team with similar talent to you on paper, and they whooped you up. They whooped you.
They whipped you.
And I would have rather watched that. I'd rather watch that again than see just a team so poorly coached, a game plan that was so poorly executed against a team that you should be better than, and it's disappointing, man. I can only. We can only harp on it so much.
I mean, you can only say the same thing so many times in so many ways, right?
Right.
So, shout out to Carolina. I see all the South Carolina fans in here. Thanks for stopping in. You guys are more than welcome to gloat as much as you want. You guys deserve it. You won the game. You came into Death Valley and you beat Clemson. So, hats off to you. All the stuff we're saying is not taking any credit away from you guys about the game, by the way. So don't take it in that way. You guys beat us. But, this is a Clemson channel, so we're going to harp on what Clemson did wrong in the game.
Right. Yeah, South Carolina.
That's just how it goes.
They absolutely deserved the win. There was nothing fluky about it. They out executed Clemson. They and they did the things correctly. They weren't the one doing silly special team stuff. They weren't the one they only had like one busted. They had like one busted pass play the entire time. They kept everything in front and they tackled well. And then on offense, they hit big shot. Spencer Rattler, he threw 2 interceptions, but he kept, unlike the other quarterback in this matchup, when he made a mistake, he shook it off, trusted it, trusted his game plan.
Yeah,
which is another thing.
And he made the plays when he had to.
He made plays when he had to.
Yeah, so he did make a lot of mistakes, and I'm sure there was more than one point in that game where Carolina fans were screaming about Spencer Rattler, right? But at the end of the day, you're right. He made the plays when he had to make the plays. I don't know why we kept riding with DJ in this game. I thought it was pretty clear with significant time left in the game that he wasn't going to get the job done. So I don't know why you don't try Cade in that situation, but again, we didn't. And I didn't have a good feeling after halftime, honestly. When we went into halftime, I didn't feel good at all. It was just it was a weird half, man. Like we were just, after that weird kickoff return gimmick play we did, it just, I don't know. Like, I don't understand. Why would we run that play? I know I keep harping on it, but like we had all the momentum. All we had to do was get our offense back on the field, continue to run the ball, take the passes when they came, and gain, and build the lead. Instead, we go with this gimmick play and turn the ball over. It just seemed desperate, and we had no reason to be desperate, especially not in that point in time in the game. Maybe at the end of the game where we're trying to, get in field goal range. Maybe that's the time for some desperation plays. But like, come on, man. Just it's puzzling, man. It really is.
Very.
This offense makes no sense. One drive we'll see them drive down and they'll be running the ball, hitting a couple pass plays here and there, and then they punch it in and score, and you're like, that's the Clemson offense we're talking about. Like, that's what we could be. And then, we come back out the next time and we go 3 and out because we run the ball up the middle on 1st and 10. And then we throw a swing pass that's either incomplete or tackled for no gain. And then it's like, it's like 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8. And, we throw some other pass. It's incomplete, obviously. And then, 3 and out. Carolina's back on the field.
Yeah.
Like that's the Jekyll and Hyde of our offense right there.
So what needs to be done? Let's just go ahead and just at every level, from the coaching staff to the quarterback position to personnel.
Yep.
What does this team do? Where do they go from here? Because
this season or next season?
All of it.
All of it. So this season,
mostly big picture. So that includes next season.
Yeah. So this season, I'll make this season real quick for me. Then you can hit up this season, then we'll go big picture. But this season for me, I would like to see a change at quarterback for the ACC championship game and the bowl game. The season's over. Okay. We still have a lot to play for in the ACC championship game. Don't get me wrong. I want to win that game just as much as I want to win any game, right? Maybe outside of this one. But I do want to win that game. So I'm not saying punt on the season and just completely give up. But I don't like you could not, unless I see it with my own eyes, you can't convince me that if Cade played an entire game, he would play a worse game than DJ played right now.
No.
You can't tell me that. I don't believe that. So what I would like to see happen for the rest of this season is a change at quarterback. And then, with the receiving core, I don't know, man. Like some of those guys dropping balls, there's got to be some accountability for stuff like that. I would like to, lean heavy on the running game. I don't know why, but we keep forgetting that we have these 2 amazing tight ends that we seem to just go on spurts throughout the game and just not utilize at all. So I'd like to see that happen. And then I think our defense is okay. We had a couple injuries on defense today. Not that it would have made a difference anyway, but I kept seeing people getting nicked up today. I don't know what that was. And then, of course, Mickens got bounced out. So I'd like to see just our defense finish strong. I think they've played well since the Notre Dame game. Not so great today. They gave up some big plays, but overall, I think they played okay today. They just gave up, some big plays. And we talked about that in our pregame that, Carolina would probably be able to hit on some bigger plays. And they were able to do that. So I'd like to see our defense finish strong, continue to be the aggressive defense that they are, and just finish the season strong like they have been the past few weeks. And then offense, a new quarterback, run heavy, and when you throw the ball, throw it to the reliable guys, which are the tight ends. And Antonio Williams outside of today. He dropped a couple today, but for the most part, he's a sure-handed guy.
Yeah. It was brutal to, just the way, the way the game ended and him fumbling that punt return. That was,
that was tough.
Yeah. But
I feel for him. You could tell he felt bad about it, but, it happens. It happens. It was a good play by the defender. He punched it out. So, good play. Special teams was definitely a difference maker for South Carolina today. I can't count how many times we started drives inside the 5-yard line. For all us Clemson fans, we got a glimpse of what a punter looks like.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's something else. That's on my big picture list, I guess, Jordan. Let's go recruit a punter or go find one. I don't know, on our men's soccer team or something. Go find a punter.
Well, the thing is, I don't think Aiden Swanson punted horribly today. I mean, he wasn't. Was he Kai Kroger or what's his face from South Carolina? No, but
can we recruit that guy? Can we get that guy over here?
Yeah. But man, I just honestly I didn't have a problem with the punting so much as that where we would have been in so much better if we could sustain drives and he was punting from deep in his own territory a lot of the time.
Yeah, he was.
And this game was a lot about field position, and South Carolina absolutely their special teams won that.
They won it.
They
won it.
They flipped the field so many times, gave Clemson long fields to work with. It was tough sledding, man. And when they you're not getting anything going, the passing game is non-existent, and you refuse to just consistently commit to running the ball. That's the result you get. You give and. You already mentioned the defense and how they didn't play their best today, but man, they were put in some horrible situations by the offense and the special teams coverage, punt return coverage. It just awful situations. In South Carolina's first 3 scoring drives were 50. I believe it was 36. They were all under. 2 of them were under 50 yards and 1 was 51.
Yeah.
So, when you're not, when your opponent is not really having to go, very far down the field to score points, I mean, that's the result you get. So it just
for sure.
Just poor execution in the areas where you could least afford to have it, and that was the difference. And you squandered all the momentum from one that you were up 14-0. You give up a big play, but then you get a safety, and you did not take advantage of your scoring opportunities in the first half, especially.
Nope.
And that's what cost you in the end, because the second half, South Carolina's defense, they bowed up, and Clemson couldn't get much going. And that allowed them to claw back in with big plays, and that's how you get the result you got. So
that's absolutely how you get it.
This is
JT Brown, thank you for the super chat. Swanson is a better passer than DJ. Amazingly, yeah, he might be sometimes. Yeah. I'm with you, JT, man. I'm done with the DJ experiment. I just can't anymore. Can't do it.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with DJ. And like I said, I've been an avid DJ defender. I'm done with this offensive scheme.
Yeah.
I was done with it after the Notre Dame game, and I hadn't wavered from that. I mean, it worked even when it was working against Louisville and against Miami. I was like, I still don't feel like this, you know, this is, you know, what we need to be doing long term. But
Right, but it was just
nothing.
nice to see. The only thing about the Louisville and Miami game was nice to see some of the wrinkles that they put in.
Yeah,
That's kind of the stuff that I was talking about, like some of the creative things that we saw. But
yeah,
it's just so inconsistent, and you shouldn't have to put in all these wrinkles if you have a good offensive scheme.
right.
Um, so now that you mentioned that, let's talk about long term. What needs to change for Clemson? Um, I think it's no secret that me and you both feel that Clemson's offensive scheme is, I don't know, outdated, predictable, ineffective, not creative at all. Um, I think we need an entire new offensive scheme. We need an entire new overhaul on offense. I don't know what that's going to look like in the offseason. If that means that some coaches need to go, then that's why we pay Dabo Swinney the money to get rid of those coaches, right? I understand that some of these coaches may be good people and they may have played for Clemson and they could be the nicest dudes ever. But it doesn't mean you can coach football at an elite level. Okay. And if you can't, and if you're not getting the job done, then there needs to be a change. I'm looking at the running, or not, excuse me, the wide receiver room. That receiver room is taking a dip, and we can say it's a personnel thing, and we can say it's personnel all day long. But at the end of the day, it's on the coaches to develop the talent. And for the past 2 seasons, we've had drop issues. So, in my opinion, we didn't have it before that. So that falls on coaches. That's coaching, in my opinion. So there may need to be a look at a change there. I already said the offensive scheme. If Brandon Streeter's not willing to adapt and completely change the offensive scheme, then I don't think he should be there anymore. I'm just being honest.
I don't think he can. I mean,
And if he can't, I don't want him coaching for Clemson next year.
well, and I don't think I think Dabo won't, even if he wanted to. I don't think Dabo's going to.
Yeah, and that's one of the other things that I kind of wanted to bring up. I think a lot of this offense is Dabo's offense. As much as people, kind of the narrative around Dabo is he's kind of the CEO of the program, and he kind of, he does the hiring, and he's the face of it, and he's out there, doing he's doing some recruiting and raising some money and all this kind of stuff. I don't think people realize how involved he is in the offensive side of the ball, especially.
He is, and he always has been.
Always has been. So he needs to, it's not just on Brandon Streeter. Dabo's got to shoulder a lot of this blame as well for the offensive performances because he's very involved in the offense. He needs to look in the mirror this offseason, man, and he's got to realize that this doesn't work anymore. At one point, yes, it worked. It was great. It was a top, elite offense in college football. It's not the case anymore. You have to change. You have to adapt. You can't keep running the same tired old offense that you've been running and expect it to keep working. Defenses change, offenses change. That's just the sport, right? It never stays the same. It's constantly moving in one direction or the other.
Right.
So offense has to have a complete overhaul this offseason. And I don't think they can do it and keep the staff as it's currently constructed, as we were saying before. There's got to be new eyes on this program, especially offensively. There has to be outsiders come in that have not been in this building every day for the past 5 to 10 years. There's got to be somebody from the outside come in and help them see things differently, get a different perspective. Maybe, they should take a trip somewhere, go meet with another offensive staff, see how they do things. They need to get more creative. They need to figure it out. And I think Dabo needs to make changes in the coaching staff. As crazy as that is to say, like, oh, 1 year offensive coordinator, you guys are going to get rid of him already? Yeah. Honestly, he should have never been the offensive coordinator at Clemson. He didn't deserve that job.
And speaking of bringing help from the outside, Dabo, if you do not use the transfer portal this offseason,
Yep.
I'm gonna have very low expectations for what this offense is gonna look like next season.
It's going to look the same. We already know, Jordan. It's going to look the same.
This is the one thing that a lot of Clemson fans have been wary about and worried about, and just wondering when it was going to bite Clemson, in the butt. And it really did last year, if we're being honest. But especially, now that you're 2 years in, and you still are struggling to get back to, the standard of what the talent on this roster should say they should be. And I think at this point, it's safe to say Clemson has, we've criticized the coaching staff, and that's been warranted. But I also think there have just been flat out misses in recruiting, particularly at the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
Joseph Ngata is who he is. EJ Williams, I know he's a third-year guy. I know he was hurt last year, but
he can't catch.
He's not. He's a shell. He's not anywhere close to what we saw out of him as a freshman. We've seen guys in this program regress under this, and since the time they were freshmen, especially at the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
When you only have one real receiving threat, well, and Bo Collins going out hurt this game, but he has not been consistent this year either, especially compared to what he was last year.
The most consistent guy is a true freshman.
A true freshman
who was playing high school football last year.
And I'm at the point now where I would not be surprised next year if Antonio Williams takes a step back too, because it feels like this. It feels like this staff, Tyler Grisham, the offensive, they do not know how to bring the best out of these guys.
No.
And I think you need to go get somebody. You need to get some help, because you don't have a true number one. I love Antonio Williams. He's great. He's very, very talented, but he should not be your wide receiver one. He should not be your first option at wide receiver. That is not your slot receiver. Should never be that guy.
No.
We don't have anybody on the outside that defenses have to consistently worry about. South Carolina today was able to man up because they said our DBs are better than your wide receivers, and it's not particularly.
And they were.
And we're gonna out physical them, and we're gonna make plays on the ball, and they're not gonna do anything about it. How many contested catches did Clemson make today?
None.
I can't think of one.
Maybe a couple, but no real ones. Like, when's the last time you've really seen this offense and this receiving core consistently go up and get balls? Go up and get those 50-50 balls. Fight through defenders and, make a catch. It happens every now and then, but it's not a consistent thing, and it should be. It always was in this Clemson offense. It always was.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're right, the wide receiving core. Yeah, and the transfer portal is a big thing, and I don't quite understand the whole stance that Dabo has on it. He's going to have to come off of it, man. College football is changing. We're going to have to use the transfer portal. We're going to have to dip into this name, image, and likeness thing. I don't care if you don't like it. Is it pay for play? Basically, at this point, yes. But it is what it is. You can't just not do it because, we don't want college football to be. Well, too bad. That's what college football is now. It's a pay for play type thing. If you're good enough, you're going to get paid to come to a school.
Yep.
And it's legal. So stop whining about it. It is what it is. And I know he's not against players getting money. He's against the professionalizing of college football, but it's too late. It's already done. So either you got to adapt and keep moving forward. I saw a comment earlier. I don't know who made it, but I think they thought we were saying Dabo is done. No one here is saying Dabo is done. Okay,
No.
Relax, people. Okay, whoever was saying that, I don't remember who it was. Calm down.
That's not what we're
Nobody's saying that at all. We're saying there's changes that need to be made. Dabo is not one of them that we are talking about.
Dabo does need to change some things about himself.
He needs to change the way he does things.
Yeah,
but he does not be changed as our current head coach.
Right.
At Clemson. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
Let's
Dabo is not above reproach. He can change. Okay. He makes mistakes, and he has made a lot of them. Okay. I think one of which is our current offensive scheme and our offensive coordinator. It just is. I'm not saying he shouldn't be our coach anymore, but that wasn't a good decision. Is anybody defending that decision right now as a Clemson fan and being completely honest with yourself? The offense is bad. It's amazing that we win as many games as we do.
Yeah.
It really is.
And there needs to be some. There needs to be a long look in the mirror because this, just a lot of this is not working.
We are trending in the wrong direction. We are starting to look like a team that peaked and is now on the back half of a really good run.
Yep.
And that's not what any of us want.
Right.
This could turn into, just a little blip on the radar, or it could turn into the back half of a really good run for Clemson football. Okay. That's why the criticism is coming. For those of you that, some people don't like, when you criticize a team like this, especially when they've won as many games as they had, and a coach like Dabo Swinney who's brought as much success to the program as he has. Nobody's disputing any of that. But in order to stay on the top, you have to change, you have to adapt. You can't do things exactly how you've always done them. That's not going to get the job done. JT Brown, thanks again. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate it. Honestly, guys, if Dabo refuses to change, it may be time to start considering a head coach change for a new era of name, image, and likeness, transfer portal. It is what it is.
Thank you for the super chat, but
yes, thank you very much for the super chat.
Really appreciate it, but I can't get on board with that. I don't think Dabo. I really don't expect Dabo to refuse to change. I think
no, I don't think so.
We've talked about the stuff that we want to see differently. They might. I mean, chances are they don't all come true, but I definitely expect Dabo to make some concessions and some changes on how this thing is this operation is run. I don't think he's had. We're talking like we're saying that Dabo, is just oblivious to the issues and that.
He's not.
He thinks everything is fine. I don't think Dabo thinks everything is fine. I haven't. I'm sure when I listened to his postgame presser, I mean, you can. Even when Dabo isn't always like saying stuff like how disappointed he is, you can see it in his face. You can see it in his face. When, just go back to last season and just even the games that Clemson won, you could just see how much it weighed on him, how much it hurt him to see the team struggle, even in the wins, just and just see how things were not, working the way he thought they would and how they should be. So as much as we're, giving some criticism to Dabo, we know that he's not happy. The fan base isn't happy. We know he's not happy. He's not happy with the result today, with the product on the field. I know it has to be weighing on him, especially after today, because this is one of the Clemson. Their goal is to they have those same goals every season. Win the opener, win the division, win the state championship, or the closer. Win the closer and win. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I butchered it because I've got so many thoughts running through my head. So the fact that Clemson is not going to complete one of those goals already is it's a
That's a failure.
That's a failure
Yep.
for Dabo. So, and that's something I know that Dabo is going to weigh on him. So we're just fans. So, I don't pretend to know, we don't pretend to just like know more than Dabo and that we could do everything that, that he's doing. But we know that things need to change. He knows things need to change. It just depends on, we're just going to have to see what changes he decides to make. And, that's going to go a long way to determining whether Clemson, just is going to peter out, or maybe they just stay as a 10-win team that, is consistently competing for ACC championships, but that national championship, that college football playoff level team is not something that's attainable again. Or you make some adjustments, you change how you do things to keep Clemson, at least in step with some of the other major programs in college football. Because right now, the way things are trending, Clemson has definitely taken a huge step back in that department. So I'm really interested to see what happens. We still have, there's still 2 games left on the schedule. I want to win those games more than anything.
Absolutely.
But I
go out with 2 wins.
But I also don't want anything that happens in these next 2 games to, to change, what the, change what the plan is going forward. I don't want, things to. I don't want us to have 2 good games and all of a sudden that was like everything's fine and we can make this work.
No, we cannot.
We've given this experiment too much time. Just from
we've seen it work a few times, but it fails more often than it works, and it's successful. I know some Florida Gator fans ain't in here talking this. Y'all better go take care of y'all's program, okay? Don't come in here with that mess. South Carolina fans can talk all the trash they want. They beat us, but Florida fans, y'all can be quiet.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody trying to hear y'all. Y'all can't even beat Florida State. Get out of here. Worry about your own rival.
Yeah, we'll take the trash talk from South Carolina fans. They've earned the right.
Absolutely, they earned it.
Yeah,
they earned it.
We're not gonna.
They can talk all the trash they want. They're still not as good as us, but they can talk all the trash they want. See, I can still.
They were as good as they were better than us today, but
they were better than us for one day. Yeah. Don't worry. Don't get used to it, South Carolina. We'll go on another run here soon. Already starting the trash talk for next year. You know what I'm saying? JT Brown, thanks again, man, for getting in for another super chat, $5. I hear you, but we have been on a slide downward since the last Natty. Dabo needs to rethink his entire approach here.
We agree there.
No, we agree with you. That is what you said there is 100% correct. If you really look at the Clemson teams, you are right. Since the last Natty, it has slowly started, degrading. And that's kind of what we're saying is, but I don't know, man. I still have faith in Dabo. Look, I think he can make the proper changes. I think he sees it. But again, we'll see. We'll see if he makes the necessary changes. It's up to him. Nobody can fix this but him. He's the guy with the power. So, we can sit up here and say what we would like to see all day long, but he's the guy with the power. And I hope, here's what I'll say about that. Kind of what JT's saying there. I hope, okay, I truly believe Dabo will make the proper changes and that he will get this thing fixed. And I think he will. So that's first and foremost. Second of all, I really, really hope he does, because if not, he has built up a ton of clout at Clemson and a ton of respect at Clemson, deservingly so. But I think it would take Clemson a long time to get rid of a coach like Dabo Swinney. So what I'm trying to say is I think he'll make the changes, and I really hope he does, because if not, we could end up in a bad place before our administration, I think, would think about getting rid of him. What do you think, Jordan?
I don't even want to entertain
I
that.
don't want to entertain it either because, I mean,
I just
he
that's not
built it. Look, and here's the thing is Dabo has built this program. He's the last one that's going to want to see it fall.
right.
He's not blind to the things that we're talking about. He's not blind to the things that we're seeing. He sees them too. And, like you said, he's in the building every day, so he knows what's going on. And I don't think he's naive to the fact that this offense isn't exactly working. And I don't think it's just, DJ and receivers and personnel the reason that it's not working. I think it's definitely a scheme issue. It's definitely a scheme issue. At least that's part of the problem. Not the whole problem. There are personnel issues.
It's a confluence of scheme. The scheme is old. We've been running the same offense since 2011. I
Yeah.
mean,
Or a variation of it, right?
Yeah, a variation of it since 2011. Yeah, and
right. It's time for a change.
Yep, and
Just time for a change.
And it's a confluence of you've missed at a lot at key positions. The wide receiver room has taken a huge drop off from what you're used to. The quarterback play just has been really, really inconsistent and downright bad in games where especially in big moments and in big games, and you just nothing about it is in sync. The scheme does not fit the guys that are currently playing within the system. The quarterback cannot run the offense as effective as it should be and as it needs to be. It's hard to, and that's what makes it so hard to just point blame to just one thing, because just none of it is in sync, and there are issues with all of it. The coaching, the development, none of it is up to the standard that Dabo has set for this program, and
and he knows that.
Yeah,
he knows that,
and it hurts me when I watch other teams with far less talent than Clemson find ways to put up, to have when I watch TCU and Sonny Dykes, for example, play offense, and I'm so jealous. And that's something I haven't been able to say in a long time, is being jealous of a team. I mean, because Clemson used to be at the forefront of offensive innovation. They were consistently, one of the top offenses in the country, but you can't do the same thing over and over, or just a similar thing over and over again, for a decade, and expect things to just, continue to roll, because that's how things get stale. And this, when other things that made it work so well stop being as good as they used to, like the coaching, the development, the evaluation, that's it. All it does is exacerbate the issues. And so there's got to be a huge deep cleaning, reevaluation of everything. Some things that are working, sure, hold on to it, but you need to take a look at every single aspect of your program and see what is operating at an effective level and what is not.
Yep.
And I think that's the job that Dabo Swinney has, in the offseason, and that's going to determine whether Clemson continues to, just slide down the totem pole in the hierarchy of college football, or they, rise back up. Because at the end of the day, Clemson, on paper right now, you go to 24/7 Sports right now, Clemson has the fifth most talented roster in college football. That is the highest they've ever been ever. Clemson had 2 top 5 classes in 2020 and 2021. Most of those classes are still on the roster. And yet, as your recruiting has gotten better, the results on the field have gotten worse.
Right.
And that shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case.
Does not make sense. Does not make sense. I played with Brandon Streeter at Clemson. He calls the game just the way he played the game. The offense was outdated, slow, and basic. He's too much of a nice guy to lead these kids to war. You might just be right. You might just be right.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Honestly, Clemson fans, give it to Gamecock fans. They deserve the gloating today.
Yep.
They straight up outplayed and outcoached Clemson today and deserve all the credit. Congratulations, Gamecocks.
I mean, listen, we've already
that's
said
tough
it
to say. That's tough to say, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've said it, and we've said it multiple times in the stream. And it's funny because I was reading comments like, well, "Why aren't you giving credit to South Carolina?" When we said we said it at two separate instances how Clemson, how South Carolina completely outplayed Clemson, and they were the better team, deserved to win, and all that. I don't know what more do you want us to say. We have to talk about, and I saw accusations of us making excuses, and excuses is saying, well, if Clemson had done this and if they had done that, then they would have won the game. And
if Bo Collins wouldn't have went out, we would have won that game. Or if we would have said if R.J. Mickens wouldn't have got ejected, we would have definitely won that game. Those are excuses.
Right.
If DJ wouldn't have thrown that one pick, we'd have definitely won it. That's an excuse.
Right. But talking about the issues that Clemson had and issues that Clemson has had prior to this game, keep in mind. So it's not like we're just like, we were all sunshine pumping before this game was played, and everything was fine, and now all of a sudden everything needs to change. I've been saying that I said I was done with this scheme. I was done with a lot of aspects of this program after the Notre Dame game. And it was something that was building up, especially when the Syracuse game happened, and then you get 2 weeks to prepare, and then you just get shellacked by Notre Dame. I was done by that point. So, it's not these are feelings that have been inside, and feelings I've expressed, in the past. This is not like, man, we're going to be fine and everything's hunky dory. And I mean, I expected to win the game today, but I still was, of the mindset that there are things that need to change this offseason about this program. And this game only confirmed it. This game only confirmed
if you've watched Clemson football for any amount of time, and you've been a Clemson fan for as long as we have, and watched as much Clemson football as we have, and put as much into it as we have, which I'm sure a lot of people in the chat have. Look, all the stuff we're saying, you guys have said it, to your friends, to your coworkers, to your family, talking during the game, after the game, at work on Monday. Look, you've said all the things we're saying. We're not saying anything outlandish. We're not trying to be hyperbolic. We're not trying to be crazy. All the stuff that we're saying, anyone who has followed Clemson football for a period of time would know all of this stuff already. So I don't think we're being unfair at all to Clemson.
And a lot of people in here are new. These are, there's a lot of, new. I mean, there's certainly a few Gamecock fans. Shout out to you guys.
We appreciate it. You guys hit that like button for us. We appreciate
please.
all you guys stopping by. All you South Carolina fans stopping by to gloat. I truly do appreciate it. You guys deserve it.
Yeah, you guys are and you guys are always welcome. So, you can
stick around.
If you want to stick around and post 31 to 30, and hey, that's fine. That's fine too. I mean, this is for Clemson fans, but we always, I always welcome other fan bases. I see some Florida fans; they're also talking trash. But you guys are all welcome. Please hit the like button because we're trying to grow this channel. We're almost to 4,000. So
we're close.
Yeah, we're really close. I think how many are we away?
30, we're at 3.97, Jordan. 3.97 thousand.
We are 30
away. 30 away. Help us out. Can we get to 4,000 by the end of this stream? I know there's 30 people in here that aren't subscribed to the channel. Help us out, okay? Yeah. Make me and Jordan's day a little bit better.
Yeah.
We took a tough loss today. Okay? Have some sympathy for us, for the Clemson man today.
Yeah,
okay?
I am suffering. Like I have not.
Jordan took his Clemson hat off. Have y'all ever seen Jordan without a Clemson
I never
hat?
take my Clemson hat off. And so
Jordan's hurting today.
Yeah,
30 subscribers.
Right. So please, it would help us out a lot because we are trying to grow this channel and I'm
We also only got 33 likes.
yeah.
So
Please hit the like button on the stream too
help us out with that.
it's
We got 134 people in here right.
the Notre Dame post game like when we went off live, I think we had like what we already had like 5,000 views on that. How much do you think this one?
Yeah.
How much do you bet when we go offline?
Oh, this
how
one's
much
going to be
when it actually uploads?
I don't know. We set the over under at like 3,000, 5,000 maybe. Yeah. Over under of 5,000 on this one. I'm sure a bunch of people have stopped by and said their piece and pieced out, if you will.
Yep. But yeah, trust me, I may not show it, but I am in pain. I'm in a lot of pain.
We're trying to get through it. We're trying to get through it as best we can.
Right. This is the game that, and obviously Gamecock fans, that this is the game we hate to lose the most. But just for both, this game means more to me than anything. I hate, I've said in the past, like, there are teams I hate losing to more than most. I hate losing to NC State. I hate losing to Ohio State, especially in recent years. Ohio State has grown in my hatred, but
Ohio State has grown very highly.
Yeah, but
I always hated Ohio State. I had family members that were like huge Ohio State fans when I was growing up, so I have had a deep-seated hatred for Ohio State for a long time.
Absolutely.
But it has obviously grown in the past, little while, since we've been, in the playoffs and stuff with them and going back and forth with their fan base. It's always fun, right? It's always fun going back and forth with those.
But
those people,
as much as as much as I hate losing those games, it'll never come close to losing this game. And it's been a while, a very long time, 9 years.
It's always too soon when we lose to them too. It's it's been 9 years.
I was getting ready to start high school. So.
Did you ever think while you were at Clemson, you would lose to South Carolina?
I thought the streak, I just, especially, I picked us to win by by 3 scores or something like that. In the pregame.
I made some ridiculous score prediction. I don't know what it was. I can't remember it at this point in time.
Yeah, someone said 40. Someone said 41-10. Maybe.
Somebody said 41-10. I don't know if it was me or not, but somebody on here said 41-10.
Yeah,
Somebody else said 45-0.
Somebody. Somebody at Freezing Cold Takes. You just go watch it. Just go watch. Hey, South Carolina fans.
At How to Lose Money Gambling on College Football Games.
Right.
Just tune into us. We'll hook you up. Don't worry about it. You got some money that you're looking to give away. We'll help you out.
So South Carolina fans, if you want to laugh, you can go. Please go watch the pregame show.
Yeah, go watch it. We were so confident. We were so confident. Oh man, it's crazy.
So if you want to laugh, then that's good. But it'll help. It'll help the views, and you guys will get some entertainment. Please drop a like on it. Still,
for sure.
So
you guys can go get in the comment section under that video and tear us up a little bit. We'll look forward to reading them. It'll be fun. If you guys tear us up good enough, we might have to make a video reacting to the comments on that video. But we'll see.
Yeah. Keith says, "Y'all Clemson fans turn on your coach." Who turned on their coach?
Nobody's turning on no coach.
Nobody's turning on Dabo.
Dabo is the coach.
Yeah.
Do I think changes need to be made within Dabo's staff? Yeah. I don't think anyone who's watched Clemson for any amount of time this season doesn't think that.
Right.
But no, we're not turning on Dabo by any means.
Yep.
You won't see that here. At least not anytime soon.
I mean, we criticize them when necessary, but we're
sure.
not Dabo is not beyond reproach. I mean, I know the joke is that Clemson, among Gamecock fans, is that Clemson fans think Dabo can do no wrong. He's Jesus, like he's the next coming of Jesus Christ and all that. But he's not. He's a human. He's very fallible. He makes mistakes. He's certainly made some. And so it's up to him, and he's got to correct some of it. And and we're going to point it out when we feel like it's necessary. That's for sure.
Absolutely. We will always point out. Man, we're Clemson fans, just like any of you guys do with your team. Just because we criticize some things that the coach is doing doesn't mean we don't want to see him there anymore. I don't think if a Clemson fan is out there saying Dabo Swinney shouldn't be there anymore, they might be a little crazy. You might want to check on them. Yeah, that's some mental illness.
Jonathan Benton says no, he's right. Hold on, I lost the comment. He said a lot of fans on TigerNet are soured on. You see, your first mistake was going on TigerNet.
Yeah, don't go to TigerNet. TigerNet is a cesspool of just Clemson fans that I don't know. It's a special breed of Clemson fans on TigerNet. I don't know where those people come from, but yeah, don't go on TigerNet unless you're just looking to like laugh at people have complete meltdowns for no reason whatsoever, and just have like unrealistic conversations. That's the only reason to go on TigerNet.
Yeah, if you're looking for message board geniuses, I mean that's a great account. If you guys don't follow that. Message board geniuses like content to send to them, then absolutely go to TigerNet because there's some gems over there. But
oh man, those people! Wow.
If you want an opinion, if you want to see what gauge the opinion of a fan base of the Clemson fan base, TigerNet is like the last place I would point to.
Yeah, you can come check out me and Jordan here. Go check out Pigskin Pete.
Absolutely.
Maybe some not Bobby Durkins in there. If you want the crazy reaction, Bobby Durkins might be your guy. But the not Bobby Durkins is a little bit more of a the same takes. There's some guys out there that'll give you some real takes on how Clemson fans actually feel. Not those, it's easy. When people get on those message boards, I feel like they just start feeding off of each other. And like one person makes like an outlandish comment and then they just like spiral down like a rabbit hole from there. And they just each try to outdo each other with more ridiculous comments. Who can make the most ridiculous comment of the day, right? Oh yeah, Morgan Thomas show, absolutely. I don't know how I forgot about him. Morgan Thomas will probably be doing a Tiger support group at some point in time today. Yeah. I've been on more than one of his support groups last season when I was super frustrated with how Clemson was playing.
He managed to make me feel better. It's a good
he did make me feel better. Like at the end of Morgan Thomas's support groups, I'm always like, all right,
we'll be okay.
We'll be okay.
The earth will keep turning. The sun will
the sun comes up tomorrow.
The sun comes up.
I'm still living and breathing. Everything's okay. It's not okay, but it is okay.
Yeah, but I'm going to be on. I'm going to be heavy on the copium tonight because this. That's the thing. I'm going to like when Clemson takes losses like this. Like I go to sleep fine, but then I'll wake up in the middle of the night. Like maybe I'm like sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm thirsty. I go to get a drink of water. Like I'm not even thinking about it, and then everything just the entire game will play through my head, and then I just go and lay down and just stare up at the ceiling. So that absolutely. I can't wait for that tonight. That's always a good time. But man, I hate losing this game, man. This is the feeling I haven't felt in a long time, and I did not miss it. I did not miss it at all.
I feel like regardless of what happened in this game, we were going to come on here and have some of the conversations we've been having, so far during this reaction. But I was still hoping we would like eke out with like a field goal to win it, and then we could still come on here and be like, this is absolutely terrible. What are we doing?
And I saw somebody say if Clemson had won, you wouldn't be saying this kind of stuff.
No, we would. I think it was. Go look at some of our other live post games.
Go watch Go watch our Syracuse post game. Go watch our Florida State post game when we were upset about them, giving up touchdowns. Go watch the Wake Forest. The Wake Forest post game. You can go back as far as that.
That was bad. Yeah,
that was.
We tore them up.
Yeah, I mean, trust me. This is. We are not people that are that ignore the issues when the scoreboard is in our favor.
We actually normally get accused of the other thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, y'all are being so negative. We won the game. Like, yeah, but we got problems, so we're going to talk about them. This is a Clemson channel.
So, it's kind of a refreshing change of pace for people to accuse us of the opposite now.
Well, I don't understand this.
Dabo should have pulled DJ. Also, Clemson. Maybe DJ should have pulled that.
Huh?
It was an attempt at a joke. Hey, Brent, we love you. Appreciate you for tuning in, but yeah, you gotta come up with better material, buddy.
It's not a good troll game.
Yeah. Listen.
But good job.
I welcome trolling when it's creative. But you gotta step your game up.
JT gets in. Actually worried about the ACC championship. The Tar Heels are actually better than South Carolina. On offense, yeah, for sure, absolutely. I don't know about defense, but yeah, definitely, absolutely on offense they are. I mean, I don't think there's a doubt about it. I mean, they've had 2 really bad weeks. I don't think anybody's thinking North Carolina's riding high right now. But I mean, you look at their offense overall. Yeah, I mean, they can score quick, fast, and in a hurry, and they got big playability, and we can tend to give up some big plays sometimes. So, I mean, it's not a lock.
Absolutely not.
It's not a lock.
Yep.
But they do also have a pretty bad defense as well. So.
But yeah, we'll get into all that in the
preview. That'll be our preview show.
Yeah.
That'll be our preview show. We don't want to get too much into it. Man. That'll be a fun show. Maybe we can tempt Luke Walker to come on for that show.
Yeah. Oh man. If we can get Luke on. Oh man, that'll just be too.
That'd be cool, right?
It'd be cool if we could get Luke on and we just complain about our teams and just
just an ACC complaining session about our teams.
And it's funny, we're going to convince each other why the other teams.
Yeah, why the other team's going to win.
Yeah, we're going to sit here like, man, like our secondary is not going to be able to hold up, and I don't trust DJ against any defense. Y'all, Carolina, the Tar Heels are going to win, and then Luke will be like, no, our offense has been terrible. Our receivers dropped.
Yeah, they figured out our offense. We can't move the ball anymore.
Our defense sucks. Yeah, it'll be a fun, just pathetic ACC just meltdown session. So that would be great if we can get
Florida Gator man, have fun at some crappy bowl game. I don't think the Orange Bowl is a crappy bowl game.
Let's not.
And if we win, I'm just saying, if we win the ACC, we'll be at the Orange Bowl. So I don't consider that a crappy bowl. Or North Carolina will be at the Orange Bowl. One of us will.
Yeah.
One of us will be at the Orange Bowl.
I don't feel great about whoever we play in the Orange Bowl, so you can make that case.
We'll see.
If we were to make it,
we'll see who we play, and then we'll see who plays in the game.
Yeah.
Because we all know if you're not playing in the playoffs, then you probably just shouldn't show up to the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, bye, loser Clemson fans. Hey, see you later, Florida Gator man. Thanks for stopping by.
Appreciate it.
Don't make it the last time you stop by, seriously. Appreciate you stopping by.
You're welcome.
Oh, man.
Well, did Ohio State officially lose today? I think they did. But
did they lose?
I think they did.
Oh, Michigan beat them again?
Hold on. Did update? Oh, my God. I hate ESPN is hating me today.
ESPN hates everyone with their autoplay ads.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Jesus. 45-23. I didn't realize it was that bad. Oh.
What?
My.
Did you say 45-23?
45-23. Because I've just been so big. Like I didn't even watch a lick of that game.
I've been so busy sulking in this. I've been so busy sulking in our Clemson misery. I didn't even know Michigan was blowing out Ohio State.
Lord have mercy. Wow.
Was it like
Well,
was it like they controlled the second half, or was it like they kind of pulled away late?
yeah. I mean, it was when I last looked, Michigan had scored a touch. That they hit a huge bomb to go up
Yeah.
24-20, and then they must have kept it just kept pouring. Lord have mercy. Well,
dang.
who's ready for that? That
Hey, who
Georgia
saw Michigan being able to throw the ball like that too? Right?
Yeah, I know they've been struggling a little bit, but JJ McCarthy apparently had a good game.
Yeah,
So that's
he apparently
hey,
threw the ball all around the yard today. Good for
Michigan
them.
fans. I know we've had our beef at points during the college football discourse this season, but I thank you from the bottom of my heart because
Hey, JJ McCarthy, 12 of 24 for 263 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Not a bad day.
Not bad. Shout out Wolverine man.
Would have been nice to have that kind of stat line from.
I'm definitely not sad that Ohio State lost.
Yeah, me either. It would have been nice to have that kind of stat line from a certain quarterback that I'm thinking about today. But
too bad it was JJ instead of DJ.
Yeah.
Too bad. Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Oh, my friend just got suspended on Twitter.
What did he get suspended for?
I think he tweeted at did he tweet at Brandon? I didn't see it, but he's saying he tweeted at me. He's like, fire yourself.
Well, you get banned for that? Come on,
I guess. I don't know.
Come on, Twitter.
It must have been.
I think Brandon Streeter's a big boy. Like, I mean, I get it, but like Brandon Streeter's a big boy. I think he can handle criticism. What would be the other option? Pull DJ permanently. I still expect Dabo to not let DJ flounder like he did. Yeah, like I said, John, I would like to see Cade play the ACC championship game and the bowl game and start. I don't think it'll happen, but that's what I would like to see happen. I'd like to see Cade finish the season. I think our DJ experiment is done. I don't think there's anybody out there that would disagree. Maybe there's a couple, but we can agree to disagree, I guess. I don't want to see any more of it.
Yeah, we got to try. If we're not going to change, I mean, we can't change the offense midseason. Just kind of like, South Carolina fans before the last couple of weeks with Marcus Satterfield and Spencer Rattler. I mean, they were clamoring for Beamer to fire Satterfield and do well. There's not much you can do in season to change what your the philosophy on offense. So the only thing you can do is either hope things work out and you figure something out, which South Carolina did, especially these last 2 weeks, or you make a change at quarterback. And so I don't know what. Actually, what on the topic. So I know we have some South Carolina fans in the chat. And this is just genuine curiosity. Do you guys think that do you think that Marcus Satterfield should still be let go, or do you think?
That's a good question. Like, do you guys think your offense has figured something out the past couple weeks, or is this just like? I mean, I don't know what you would call it. I don't know. Their offense hasn't been great. Spencer Rattler has looked, pretty bad for most of the season. Outside of Tennessee and now Clemson, he played a solid game.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's an interesting question for South Carolina fans. What do y'all want to see happen?
Because I know before the after the Tennessee game, a lot of my South Carolina friends said they still maintained. It's like, yeah, I still want Satterfield gone, but hey, they look pretty good. I mean, they weren't able to run the ball effectively, but not a lot of teams have ran the ball effectively on Clemson this year. But man, I thought Satterfield did a good job of giving finding ways to give Rattler time, and his receivers made some incredible receivers and tight ends. Nate Atkins, a guy who is usually he's usually used in blocking sets, and he made some big plays. That one-handed catch he made, and that was I was like, wow, that was perfectly covered. I mean, you just got to tip your cap to him. He just made an incredible play. Juice Wells, I mean, he was the one guy I was worried that he was the guy I was most worried about, in, getting loose in the secondary, and he made plays. And Rattler, he made some pretty incredible throws. He was very accurate on the deep ball. And, outside of the two interceptions, I thought Rattler played a pretty tremendous game. I thought he did a good job of avoiding sacks.
Yeah.
He
definitely
was in his face. That was a pretty incredible performance. It's been a while since it's been a couple of years since Clemson had that kind of quarterback play. So I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, it was interesting too because it looked like Spencer Rattler got rattled early on in the game, no pun intended. But you saw him kind of settle in, right? Like later on in that first quarter, you saw him kind of settle in, like you're talking about, and he played a pretty good game. We got a South Carolina fan in here who says keep Satterfield. Missouri and Florida were horrible, but they improved, and that's all we can expect.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Help us out. Help us out. Let's see what we got here. Hold on, I saw something about Streeter. Big Mick. Shout out Big Mick, one of our usuals for this show and our preview show. Streeter said it's not DJ's fault, and I agree. It's Streeter and Dabo's fault. Yeah. They definitely shoulder a lot of the blame as well. Absolutely. They absolutely shoulder a ton of the blame. And we've talked about that quite a bit already with, talking about scheme changes and all sorts of stuff.
Any other comments?
I'm looking to see if we got anything else.
Can you highlight the Josh comment? I think he's a South Carolina fan.
This one?
Yeah, Josh. Yeah. He says simplifying the offense, getting rid of the check with me before each play has made the difference the past 2 weeks. Yeah, I kind of noticed. I mean, I've watched both, South Carolina the past 2 weeks. And yeah, it definitely seems like they've taken all the thinking, out of the offense, and and that's something that, that's what good offensive coordinators do. It's like when you have a guy, when you have playmakers that South Carolina does. I mean, it was kind of amazing, and I thought that for a lot of the season why South Carolina's offense was as anemic as it had been at times, because there were individually there were a lot of guys, especially at the skill position, that I thought were very talented. And so a good offensive coordinator, puts his guys in positions to where, they can make plays and they don't have to, think about so much. And I don't know why it took them so long to figure that out, but they definitely have turned the corner the past 2 weeks. So
absolutely.
Hate that it had to be against my team, but
yeah,
they were
not
really
a good feeling, but they do look like they may have found something. We'll see how they keep progressing. It's South Carolina ruined the playoffs for Clemson and Tennessee. They did.
Yep, they did.
Any chance that Clemson had, if things would have worked out properly, they had somewhat of a shot to make it. But yeah, you definitely sealed their fate. And Tennessee for sure. Tennessee was heartbroken after that.
So if Clemson does lose the ACC championship next week, where do you think they stick it? Because I'm really interested, because obviously North Carolina would go to the Orange Bowl.
Right.
Would they keep us ahead of Florida State in the hierarchy? I'm wondering, because Florida State has played a lot better than Clemson the last few weeks.
That's an interesting question. I don't know. They might put them above us.
Yeah.
Kind of what He's asking here, is Clemson going to make a New Year's Six bowl game? Only if they win the ACC.
Only if they win the ACC. Yeah.
Yeah, if they win the ACC championship, for sure, they're going to a New Year's Six game. If not, like Jordan mentioned, who knows where we end up? Because that'll be a bad loss to South Carolina. No offense, South Carolina, but it's a bad loss. And then probably another bad loss to a North Carolina team that's reeling heading into the ACC championship game. So 2 bad losses in a row. And Florida State's been playing pretty well. They beat Florida. Not that Florida's some world beaters or anything like that, but I mean they could. 35-14, Auburn, Alabama, halftime.
It must be nice to be able to dominate your in-state rival.
Yeah, it must be. That's
I used to know what that felt like.
Yeah, especially on your down year,
Yep.
Oh man, this loss is going to take a while.
Yep. It's going to be a long year because
no matter off season.
No matter what Clemson does moving forward into the offseason until this game is played again next November.
We got 364 more days of hearing this nonsense.
Yeah.
Before we get a chance to rectify that loss, to get some revenge, if you will. I don't see any interesting games. Oregon State, 14-10. Oregon's up. Kentucky's beating the crap out of Louisville. Good job, Louisville.
It happens every year. Every year, I think this is.
Bro, this is the year for Louisville, right? And it never is. It's never the year for Louisville.
Wow, man. Georgia Tech, they scored first, so.
Yeah. At least they made it look interesting for a quarter, maybe.
Yeah. So Georgia Tech, salute to you, Tyson Pumachan, former Clemson quarterback. He had himself a rushing touchdown, so good for him. But other than that, it wasn't much to celebrate. But man, the SEC is the SEC gonna go undefeated on the weekend? Probably seems like it.
They might. No, they can't because Florida State held out for the ACC.
Yep.
They carried the flag for the ACC.
Only team, Florida State. You can take our place in the ACC championship. You represented that.
That's funny.
But I saw some Florida State fans say that if we played them now, that Florida State would win. I had issue with it. I don't know.
They might not be wrong.
I don't know if that's
wrong.
I don't know if that's.
If we were playing Florida State in the ACC championship game, I would not be excited about playing.
Hey, listen, I won't be excited about playing them next year because here's the thing: there's going to be no divisions next year. It's going to be the top 2 teams. Clemson, Florida. It could very well be Clemson and Florida State, and
that's probably going to start being the ACC championship game, right?
Well, and it should have been a long time ago. Before,
it should have been. Like Clemson and FSU have been kind of the top teams in the conference for a while now.
Yeah.
And you go back, you can see the numbers. It's either been Clemson or Florida State winning the last I don't know how many ACC championship games outside of last season, right?
Right.
But it's been a streak of a lot, and that's just gonna continue now that it's the 2 top teams in the conference because Florida State looks to be turning that corner and finally putting a team together. Oh, the clock is wrong over your shoulder. Well, I can't tell time, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know, Mark. I can't tell time. So, go figure. I gotta have a digital clock, okay? Don't judge me.
Wait, you never learned how to read an analog clock?
No, I'm just messing. I'm just messing. This is my little sister's room, so I don't know. Maybe she can't tell time. I don't know. I'm just kidding. The clock battery's dead. I'm out of town. Okay, don't judge me. Okay, I'm having a rough enough day. Okay, we lost to South Carolina. Don't worry about my clock. Where the hell was our secondary today?
Good question.
That's
Yeah, we didn't
great
really
question.
we didn't really
when
talk
you figure
about
it out, let me know.
Yeah.
When you figure it out, let me know because
We
we
didn't
were
really
not
talk.
good today.
We didn't really talk about it, and we haven't really talked about it this season. But Andrew Makuba has regressed
Yep.
so badly.
Yeah, bro. Did you see how many times he got burned today?
It was rough. I
It
mean,
was bad, dude.
he had
It was
guys
bad.
crossing his face, and he didn't react fast enough.
It was
It
so
just seemed
bad.
like he was never comfortable out there. I don't know if he's injured, but I don't know if he's ever fully recovered from his injury, but he has regressed. So I mean, he was so good as a freshman last year, and it's just it's become to the point where he's kind of a liability out there. I mean, Mickens and Phillips have been miles better than him this year, and it's a shame. I've had so many. He's a very
I had
talented
high
kid.
hopes for him this year.
And
high hopes.
William, we got an Irish fan in here. He said William Hopkins. You can go back to that comment after, but he said, "Do I get?"
Yeah, I'll go back to it. Go ahead.
Do I get Irish fan here? Do I get any last jabs in? Might as well, man.
Yeah, go ahead. Poor, you beat
might as well
Clemson
pile
too,
on.
so you can go ahead and throw your jabs in too. We're taking any and all of them today.
Yeah.
Which one was I at? I don't remember which comment. Oh, here we go. Streeter blames drops. He says it's not DJ's fault. Whatever, Brandon Streeter.
It's not fully DJ's fault.
It's not fully, but yes, it is.
There were certainly a lot of drops, and definitely
there were certainly a lot of bad throws to go around too.
Yeah.
You don't go. What was it? 9 for 29 or something like that. Something crazy. Whatever it was. 28. You don't throw for 28% just because of drops.
Yeah.
Yes, drops are a part of it. Absolutely, but no. And it's your terrible play calling too.
I mean, I can think of multiple overthrows. Guys. The one to Antonio Williams. There was
Antonio Williams streaking down the sideline would have been a touchdown. But he overthrew him. The overthrow to who was that in the middle of the field?
Davis. Well, the interception was an overthrow to Davis Allen.
The interception. I'm talking about the other one. I think it was to.
Was it the Spectre? Which
no,
I don't know.
It wasn't the Spectre.
Oh,
it was to Ngata. It was to
Ngata.
Ngata. Yeah, it was to Ngata. Spectre, that one that he kind of missed was kind of behind him a little bit. Look, DJ made plenty of bad throws, okay? But yes, there were also drops. And then let's not forget the terrible play calling to round it all off.
Yeah, and I mean, the offensive line didn't play well today either. But man, when South Carolina is sending more guys than you can block, and you're calling plays that don't take advantage of the aggressiveness of the Carolina defense. I mean, you can only blame the offensive
quick
line.
Quick slants with Antonio Williams will remedy that really quickly.
I think we saw one or two slants, and those were dropped, but a couple of them were dropped. But it just.
But still,
you gotta make that. There's so much.
Tight ends were a non-factor today.
Yeah. When they really shouldn't have been. They should have been a huge factor.
They should have been a major part of the game plan.
Especially with
they did not appear to be.
Right. Especially with how poorly South Carolina's linebackers have been this season. I mean, Carolina fans will tell you their linebackers have left a lot to be desired this year, and you had some matchup advantages there, and you didn't do anything to create those mismatches. So, it's a shame. It really is a shame how the personnel on this offense has been used, and how when the inconsistency with how they're used, and just it's frustrating because it's this team is so on paper that there's so much talent that could be playing a lot better and could be put in a lot better positions, And you've got a quarterback throwing, running everything that doesn't consistently show up, and disappointing. It's disappointing.
I've seen reports that McFadden is still not 100%, and of course Mays got overwhelmed some today. I didn't know that, but I don't think that was really a factor at all. The O-line has been trash all season.
I disagree.
I don't think so. I think our O-line's played pretty well for a majority of the season. No, I don't think that at all. I mean, there's been points and times where they haven't played, well, but for the most part, I think our O-line's, that's one of the biggest improvements on offense this year is the O-line,
especially in run blocking. I know pass protection wasn't great. Like I said, pass protection wasn't great today, but
it wasn't great today. But a lot of the pass protection issues this season is DJ holds the ball too dang long, man.
Yeah.
Like he just sits back there forever, pretending like these dudes just can hold up forever. It's not the case. So I think our offensive line's been pretty well this season. I think they played pretty well. So, but we can agree to disagree. Craig, we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, I can't blame that. They didn't have their best day, but that's probably.
I think there's a lot of blame to go around on the offense before you even think about getting to the offensive line.
Them and the running backs this season are the only group that have consistently, for the most part, shown up, especially when it's been needed.
Yep.
And so I got to give credit to those position coaches too. Thomas Austin, I think he's on the whole, I think he's done a good job with this group. And CJ Spiller, I know running backs aren't the hardest position to coach, but especially with the talent you have in that room. But they've been the running backs when Clemson has decided to not forget they exist. They've been the most effective part of the offense. Shipley had a great game today, and you don't give him the ball. I mean, Maffa had some nice runs. He had that bad turnover on the kick return thing, but that was I don't know why they ran that little trick play anyway, because it's frustrating, man. There's
some of the decisions that the coaching staff makes sometimes are it's just crazy. Shipley only had what was it, 15 carries today?
Yep, he had 12 carries in the first half, and I was like, "Oh my God, yes, this is perfect."
15 carries for 132 yards. He had 12 carries.
Did he get
for
I think
at one point it was 12 carries for 112 yards.
Yep.
And then he went on to only have 15 for 132.
Man, what
unacceptable?
It's just like what a terrible way to hit 1,000 yards on the season. I think he hit 1,000. Oh, he hit over 1,000 mark in this game.
He did. Yeah, he's over 1,000 now.
That sucks. I hate it for him, because it's been a couple of years since we had an 1,000-yard rusher. I mean, because ETN didn't get 1,000 in his last year, I don't think. So.
No, he did not.
So 2019 was the last year we had an 1,000.
We couldn't run the ball really. The last year of ETN, our offensive line was pretty terrible, but he put up a lot of yards out of the backfield catching the ball his last season at Clemson. Yeah, 15 for 132. Maffa was 7 for 42. I mean, you got Shipley averaging 8.8 yards a carry. Maffa averaging 6.6 yards a carry. 6 yards a carry and 8.8 yards a carry. And those dudes combined got 22 carries? Come on. What? That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know right there.
I was happy to see Kobe Pace up there. Hey, whoa, yay! I think he only got one.
He got 2 carries.
Yeah,
he got 2 carries. 2 carries for 8 yards. He ran the ball 2 plays back to back, and then went to the sideline for the rest of the game.
Yep.
I don't know what the point of that is, but okay.
Cool.
DJ almost got his hip knocked out of his body today running the ball.
Yeah, he did.
maybe should have gave those runs to the running backs, and they'd have probably done a little bit more with them. I'm just saying. Or, that 8 for 29 throwing the ball, maybe turn those into some run plays too. But whatever.
We're a team
going back down a tangent again.
Yeah, but man, it really is just mind-boggling when you have that kind of success on the ground. And it's kind of like it's not as egregious as the Notre Dame game was, because the Notre Dame game, Shipley was like, how many carries? He got like 10 carries or
10
something.
carries, yeah, something
Like he
ridiculous
averaged like 6 yards, like close to 6 yards a clip, and you don't give him the ball. Just the mismanagement,
especially with the running backs. Like Maffa's got to have more than 7 carries.
Yeah,
the dude's absolutely a beast, and he's hard to tackle.
Yep.
If you do a 1-2 punch with him and Maffa an entire game, by the fourth quarter, that defense is not going to want to tackle those two dudes, especially Maffa. That dude does not go down. So, it's just I
hate. It's crazy because Tony Elliott, as much criticism as he got last year, in this same game last year,
he ran the ball.
He understood. I have talent. This is where my advantage is. This is where I have the clear advantage. This is where we have our most success. This is where
he understood. This is my best option to win this game, and I'm just going to do it.
And he ran it. And Shipley and Pace and Maffa each had touchdowns in that game. Shipley went over 100 yards.
Yes, he did.
And you just like that game plan with a limited person, like you're starting Will Swinney at wide receiver. That game plan was miles better with less options than the one we saw today, and that's inexcusable. That's inexcusable.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Streeter's quote: "DJ's our leader." Okay. Hopefully not for too much longer.
All right. Well,
let's hop up off of here, man.
Yeah. We said all we can say, and
everybody in the comment section, we appreciate you guys stopping by. We appreciate all the discussion. Congratulations once again to the Carolina fans. Congratulations on a win. You guys deserved it. You beat us, and that's all there was to it. All the Clemson fans, again, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for getting your thoughts out. Agreeing, disagreeing, whatever it was with us. We enjoy the discussion that you guys bring to it, and we enjoy talking Clemson football. But we're going to get out of here. Jordan, go ahead and sign off with the people.
All right, guys. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. I was hoping we wouldn't have to have another post-game show after a loss, at least during the regular season. I certainly did not expect this result. But just to reiterate, South Carolina they absolutely deserved to win the game. They outplayed Clemson in pretty much every facet, and they out-executed them, and especially they made the plays when it mattered, and they overcame their own mistakes, and Clemson couldn't, and that was the difference in the game. So it's a shame. This is not.
It is.
This is not something this is not the kind of show I expected to have, but hey, this is what we're all college football fans at the end of the day. It was a competitive game. So those of you that weren't South Carolina Clemson fans and weren't sitting on the edge of your seats about to soil your pants, it was a really interesting and fun football game to watch.
Yeah, for everybody not involved in the rivalry,
right?
It was a great game,
right?
For those involved, it was a terrible game unless you're a Gamecock fan, and then it doesn't matter how close it was because you won the game at the end of it, and that's all that matters when you're playing your rival. But again, everybody, thanks for stopping by. Hey, go check out, I'm sure Morgan Thomas will have his Clemson loser support group. You guys should go check it out. Tell him Tiger Paul and Jordan sent you. go get your thoughts out over there. If you don't feel better, if you guys are still angry and upset, go over there. Morton Thomas will make you feel better. Don't worry.
He will.
But yeah, without further ado, guys, thanks for stopping by. Jordan, thanks for coming. And we will see you guys in the preview video for the ACC championship game. Everybody stop by. It'll be a good time.
Later, guys.
Later.